Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Uzomairoche, and if you're new here, welcome. I do lifestyle, beauty, faith content. I just happen to go to school in Canada, and that is why I'm doing this video. So today's video is going to consist of me telling you exactly what I did, how I did it, how I came to Canada and started my school here. Just keep it in mind that I am not an expert. I am not an immigration officer. I am in no way claiming to know all the facts, okay? Please watch this video as supplementary to your main research. I'm just telling you guys my experience because I know lots of you guys want to know, but this is personal to me. It could be very different for you, so just make sure that you do all the research that you can, just so that you are not misinformed or blindsided. I'm begging you, please. But anyway, I know you guys can see that I'm looking sweet today, and I just wanted to use this opportunity to say thank you so much to Ana Luisa for sending me these beautiful pieces of jewelry and these cute bags as well. We have some more. Ana Luisa is a sustainable carbon neutral jewelry brand that makes jewelry that is long-term and wearable, and you might not necessarily break the bank, especially for the quality that you're getting. They sent me this particular pair of earrings. I have some more in here, so this one as well as this one, and yeah, it's gold plated jewelry and they last quite a while. It feels like really good quality as well, and I'm just so thankful to Ana Luisa for sending me these. So if you'd like cute jewelry like this, you would like 10% off, just use this code right here and you'll get 10% off of your next order. So don't slack, don't get left behind, don't carry last. Please do yourself a favor and head over to Ana Luisa's website right about now. I'll leave a link down in the description box. Let's get straight into the video because I know you guys have been wanting this video for time, literally all over my comment section. How did you do this? How did you do this? How did you do this? Sit back, relax, enjoy the video. Let's get into it. So I'll be answering specific questions and comments I left underneath. I don't know if you guys remember. If you're an OG, you'll remember that I posted this community post and I asked you guys for questions and you guys asked questions. So I'm going to answer those specific questions at the end, but I will cover more general stuff as we go through the video. So make sure you stay till the end to hear the answers to those specific questions that you guys had. I'm going to talk you through the stages of how I actually got here. I am an international student in Canada. I live in Ottawa, in Ontario. Now, finding a school. The first step you want to take to come to Canada, or the first step I took to come to Canada, is I looked for the schools that I wanted to join. So I knew that, just for context, I went to secondary school in England, and so I left from England to come here. And I know that I got a question asking if you can use your A-levels to come to Canada and do your university, and the answer is yes, you absolutely can. You can get transfer credits using your A-levels that you have done in the UK. Honestly, if I had known, I would have actually just come here once I was done with my IGCSEs. So if you're watching this and you're considering coming to Canada after A-levels and you still have the opportunity to change, and you haven't finished A-levels yet or something, I would honestly say that it makes more sense to come to Canada. It is more cost effective to come to Canada, do your foundation and high school here, and then go to university here rather than doing it in England, because honestly it's just a much more seamless process. But anyway, that's just by the side. You want to find a school that fits your niche, fits what you're trying to obviously learn, fits your budget, fits where you're trying to be, all that kind of stuff. And then once you find a school of your choice, you want to look at the requirements for that school. So what exactly do they need from you? What accreditations do they need? What grades do they need? And then in finding what grades and things like that they need, then you will be able to deliberate and say, okay, yes, this school is for me, or no, this school is not for me. And also depending on what country you live in currently. So for example, I had to check that my A-levels were able to be transferable to be considered as prerequisites for the universities that I applied to. And so for you, if you're in Nigeria, you need to check the equivalence between the Nigerian grading system and the Canadian grading system and make sure that they meet up so that you're able to be eligible to actually apply. Next thing is you need to find out about the application process. So I personally went through the OUAC website. So the OUAC website is, I think the full meaning is Ontario University Application Center, and so you have to go through there to apply to universities if you want to apply to multiple universities. However, I'm pretty sure every school has their own portal of application, like you can just apply to one school directly, but the OUAC is there if you want to apply to multiple different schools with the same application. And that's what I did. I applied to Ryerson, UFT, Waterloo, Carleton, York, and some others. I applied to quite a few, I won't lie to you, because in England that was like the norm to apply to multiple, but I understand that now, like, it's actually, it costs a lot, it costs money to continue to apply because each place has their own application fee. But I was just trying to increase my chances of actually getting into like one that I wanted, and so that's what you have to do. And there is the OUAC for international students and there's the one for domestic students, so you have to make sure that you pick the correct one, which is OUAC 105D. That is if you are an international student. And so what happens when you open the OUAC, you have a lot of forms to fill and things like that, or not a lot, but you just fill the forms with your information, your current education level, and yeah, you fill the form with all the information that they ask you for. You pay the fees. There are some fees there, and the reason I'm just saying some fees instead of the actual fees because each school has a different fee, and so you have to be aware that there are fees to pay for that application for each of the universities that you apply to, and then you choose your course and things like that. So yeah, just to shed a bit more light, I used my A-level predicted grades to apply to the universities that I applied to. So using my A-level predicted grades, I got conditional offers from I think all the schools I applied to. So conditional offers because I hadn't done my final A-level exam just yet, so they would have fully accepted me by the time they got my actual A-level results. My process wasn't necessarily the smoothest. I will leave a link up for my A-level horror story video experience, everything, but basically I didn't get my predicted grades, so I actually missed my offers, right? So because I missed my offers, I had to apply again for the January cycle. So all of this is happening in 2019, by the way. So 2019 summertime is when A-level results come out. However, the system is different in Canada, and everyone had already basically gotten into school, so there was even no space or wiggle room or anything like that. All the classes were full, everything. So I had to then apply for January 2020 admission into Carleton University, which is where I'm at now. I had already applied to Carleton when I had my very first admissions cycle. Also, just thought I should add, the reason I had to reapply to Carleton is because I had declined the offer that they offered me the first time because I wanted to go to a different school. So I already had my information there, so I just had to reapply again. However, we used an agent the second time, and I think it's just because my family was just very like, we're just in a lot of confusion. Basically, we didn't know what to do, so we just used an agent. But now that I think back, we could have actually very much done it by ourselves. So I just reapplied using the OUAC, because once you have an account in the OUAC, you can use it for all kinds of applications with respect to universities in Ontario. So that's what we did. Honestly, I didn't appreciate the way that the agents, like, I didn't appreciate their service. Like, I'm just happy that at least I got into school. I didn't really appreciate their service, so I don't feel like I should put their thingy down. I'll look up some other immigration service agents and I'll put their link down below. But yeah, that's it with respect to school. So just to recap, find a school that you want in a location that you want, and make sure you know the school's requirements. Make sure that you are able to meet those requirements. Make an OUAC account if you're wanting to apply to multiple schools, or if it's just one, then go to the school's website, look at the information that is needed, and then fill in the forms. Make sure that you are aware of the deadlines, and make sure that you're able to pay the fees so that they can process your application. Also, all of the things I'm saying are with respect to Ontario. You have to understand that Ontario is different to the other provinces in Canada, and it might be different in other provinces. So make sure that you're 100% sure that it is Ontario that you want to come to. Next is the visa application process. I feel like this is the one that most people would want to know about. Now, the visa application process, I started my process in March 2019 and I got my my study visa in June 2019. Actually no, June 2019. I got my mom was actually the one that did most of this process for me. She had an agent which she used, which was from the consulate in Abuja, so the Canada Immigration Consulate. I actually don't know what it's called, but yeah, that's how we got it. But even then, again, we didn't actually have to do that process. We could have very much done it ourselves because the process is not that complicated. So what I did is, if you're, or let me just say this, if you're a student like me and if you want to come to Canada as a student like me, all you have to do is go to this website right here, Canada Immigration something. I don't actually know what it's called, guys, but you just have to go to this website, and then there is a link which I will put in my description box. But as you can see, all you have to do is go to this website, click on international student requirements, and you will see all the requirements for applying to Canada to get a visa to study here. Let me just talk you through all the things that I basically gave to the agent. So you need a letter of acceptance. I know that for sure. I'm pretty sure you need proof of funds, so that would be your bank statements and things like that. And then I feel like with respect to COVID, things might have changed a little bit, so I'm going to put the link to the website down below, so just look at that website. And the reason I'm not saying what I personally did is because, again, I didn't do it myself. That's one. And two, I feel like every situation might be different, because for example, I didn't require IELTS or IELTS, as I know a lot of people from Nigeria will require that, but I didn't require that because my secondary school was in England, and so they basically didn't require IELTS from English institutions, but you might require an IELTS accreditation, so make sure that you are able to do that in time. I would also suggest that you can look up online Canadian consulates in your area and go there and speak to a professional if you're still unsure. That is another thing that I would recommend, because I'm pretty sure that's what my mom did. Just to talk you through, you are going to go to the RCCC website, IRCC website. You're going to make an account, and that is where your application will be. That is where you will fill all the forms. That is where you will get updates on your application. I got a question, somebody being like, how will I know when I've been approved or something like that? You will get emails from the Canadian government and you will see it on this portal. So again, like the application process, you want to fill in the forms, pay the fees, and just pay attention to deadlines, especially for the admission process for studying. And somebody asked me if I had an interview for my own application, and I actually didn't have an interview. All I had to do was, when the documents were submitted for my application, I got asked for my biometrics and all that stuff, so I did my biometrics in Abuja, and then I had to do some medical examinations as well. I know I had to do like a TB test, and some others that I actually can't remember. I'm so sorry guys, this is so unhelpful, but I did some tests as well, so you will get told exactly what you need to do with respect to the medical examinations and things like that. So don't worry, all the information will be given to you as you follow through with the steps. This was done in, I want to say, about April. My biometrics and everything were done in like April 2019 when I came back to Nigeria for my break. Moving on to flight tickets. So I know lots of people might also have questions on this, but this part is also really straightforward. All you have to do is actually just go online, look for the dates that you're trying to come, and look for the best possible rates. And obviously, as you book flights, the earlier you book them in advance, the cheaper they are. So I would definitely be prompt with that if you're sure that you want to come. Also, that's what I did. I basically booked my flights way in advance so that it wouldn't be a crazy price. And then obviously flights are a bit more complicated now because of COVID, so it's very important that you check through the restrictions. That's what I did. I checked through the restrictions, I checked through the requirements, and in order to fly from Nigeria to Canada, as of right now, as of or when I came in August 2021, when I came back in August 2021, you're required to have a COVID test, proof of enrollment in your college or institution, your travel documents such as your study permits and your study visa. Again, I want to reiterate that your study permits and your visa are different. Your study permit is what you will obtain at your first point of entry in Canada. So when you enter into Canada, that is when you get that. That's when I got mine. But when I got to immigration, somebody actually asked this as a question, so maybe I should wait. I'll wait to answer that question at the end. I personally was not vaccinated when I came, and so I had to provide my COVID test, my enrollments. I had to provide a COVID plan. Well, I didn't have to provide the physical plan, but I had to have a plan and tell them the plan, and I had to quarantine for 2 weeks. Make sure that you are learned on these things so that you don't enter one chance, or had I known, will not enter. Please, I'm begging you guys. Next is my accommodation. So at first, in my first year in Canada in January 2020, when I got in before COVID and everything, I stayed on my school's residence, and this is basically, for people that don't know, residence, it's the school that owns it, and the way my school does it is that it comes with a meal plan, and so there's a cafeteria at my school. The meal plan and the accommodation costs are all together. It was very expensive. One semester cost $11,358, and this is all access meal plan plus a room for 1 semester. So honestly, it was very much a thing of, I just did it because it was my first time. I wanted to, get to know the area, and I was close to school, it was convenient, all that stuff, but it's honestly not needed. I will put some links down below for places that you can actually look on to find accommodation in your area. Some websites such as Kijiji and Facebook Marketplace are some really good places to look for accommodation. Obviously, there are the higher end places that are like apartment buildings and things like that, which range from about $750 to about $3,000 a month. So obviously it just depends on what your budget is like and what exactly you're willing to spend on your accommodation. Another place to look for sublet places is a website called placesforstudents.com. I'll leave all the links below, don't worry. So yeah, you have different options. It just depends on what you're looking for and, quite frankly, what your account will allow. So yeah, I personally I've been privileged enough to actually have friends which I live with, and yeah, so what most people will do is they will live with somebody so you can split the rent, or live in like a 3-bed or a 2-bed or whatever. So if you have friends and things like that, obviously it's a good idea to live with them because it cuts down the cost significantly, obviously, and it's just nice to live with people, especially in the winter months, because it can get pretty lonely. And so yeah, next we are going to go onto the Q&A section of this. People asked on the community post specific questions which I'm going to answer now. Somebody said, how long did your application take, and did you do IELTS? Also, did you need proof of funds at the airport? So as I said earlier, no, I didn't do IELTS because I was applying from secondary school in England. I did not have to present proof of funds at the airport the first time I went. So if I remember correctly, I actually don't think that I presented proof of funds. The only thing that I presented was my enrollment letter from my school and my study visa. Now, things might be different because of COVID and things like that, which is why I will continue to reiterate, please do your research. I will leave links down to contact immigration services. You can call them just to make sure, but this is my personal experience. I don't think I had to present proof of funds at my first entry into Canada, because I believe you have to do this when you're applying for the visa anyway. So yeah, next question is, what questions should I get myself ready on for arrival? So the first time I entered into Canada, they asked me what school I'm going to, what I'm studying. For my study visa, again, emphasis on my visa, which was in my passport, so that they could then give me my study permit. So they gave me that permit. All the information that you're giving to them, make sure that it is correct, and make sure that you are giving them correct and accurate information, because if you give them wrong information, they will actually catch you. They will. So please, let's not enter into a sticky situation. So yeah, and then I forgot to mention as well, after that there was a place in the airport for me to do my SIN number, and my SIN number is a number which is my social insurance number, and it helps me to be able to get a job essentially. And so it's very, very easy and simple to do that. You can even, I think they even still do it at the airport. Again, due to COVID, it might be different, but even if you don't do it in the airport, there are different places that you can do it, and I really recommend that you get your SIN number done as you get to Canada so that you can get a job. The next one is, how does one become a permanent resident without having to study in Canada first? What are requirements of being a PR in Canada? Okay, this is a really, really good question. To become a PR in Canada, there are different ways you can do this. So you can either apply to be you must be a federal skilled worker. You can go through the skilled immigrants program. You can go through startup visa, which is for somebody or people that have business ideas that they want to fund. You can go through the investors, entrepreneurs, and self-employed pathway. So there are actually different ways to go through. I personally have not tried, I have not applied. I know there was a temporary resident to permanent resident pathway thing because of COVID, but that's going to end in the first week of November, so there's no point even talking about that. But again, I will leave links below so that you guys can do some more research on how to become a PR. I am not very experienced on that, so that's why I cannot speak too much, and I don't want to give you guys wrong information, so I'll just leave some links below that you might find helpful. Did you submit additional documents apart from the ones listed on the website, and how many pages was your SOP? So no, I did not submit additional requirements or additional documents apart from the ones on the website, and I actually did not submit an SOP. I was even like, what even is that? I had to go and research on what that was, so I didn't have to do all that. I'm not entirely sure why, because I looked it up and I saw that it was something that people had to do, but I didn't have to do it. So that's just my personal experience. I will also leave some links down below though for tips on how to write that, because I did some research on that. So if you want to check the description box below, you will find a link on a really helpful article that I found that you might find helpful for writing your SOP. I love your content, is superb, thank you so much. How many months to your program are you meant to arrive in Canada before school starts? Honestly, I would say that 2 weeks is a good enough time, because it's not like suspicious, like why are you coming so early, but at the same time it's like, I mean, to be very honest, it's actually up to you, because if you have a student visa, it makes sense for you to come the summer before your program starts. So I would say 2 to 3 weeks, so that you have enough time to settle in. If you have to quarantine as well, I would say like 3 weeks, so that you can have 2 weeks to quarantine and 1 week to get ready for school and settle in and move into your space of living and whatever. But I would say it's honestly up to you. I don't think there's actually a restriction as long as you have a valid visa to actually enter into the country. So it's really just up to you and what you have to get done. But I would say 3 weeks is a good idea. 2 to 3 weeks is a good frame of time. During your application for your visa on the IRCC website, do you need to have a CAC document to apply for a visa in undergraduate studies? And when you applied for your visa, did you use the NSE to apply for your visa, or you went through the normal process? So I went through the normal process. I didn't use the Nigerian Student Express. I didn't use any of that. I just went through the normal process as it states on the website. I did not have to provide a CAC document. Again, I didn't even know what that was. So yeah, I didn't have to provide any of that. But depending on your situation, you might have to. That's why I would say, please, please, please do your research. But yeah, I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I have left out. I know that under some of my videos, some of you guys comment things like making videos of where to get your hair done and things like that, in terms of like Canada and stuff like that, and I'm not sure whether I should do a whole separate video on that, or like say, or try to explain that in a vlog or something. But yeah, I'm trying very hard to stay on topic with this particular video, but I hope that this kind of gives you an idea of what the process might be like for you. Again, it's not going to be exactly the same because we are not the same, but this was my process. I hope that you were able to find something new, something helpful perhaps. I feel like, honestly, I'm not sure if I've done a good job of covering grounds with this thing, but if you have further questions, please leave them down below. I will do my best to answer, but I will definitely be leaving many helpful links down below, and even some other videos from other YouTubers that you might find helpful as well. Yeah, so I'm not really an immigration channel, but I just know you guys really wanted to know about all of these things. So I hope that hearing my experience has gingered you and showed you that you can actually do it as well. It is very, very possible. And I will also leave a link down below if you want to apply to my university, anything like that. I will leave those links down below. If there's anything else that you are looking for, please let me know. I will try my hardest to answer. I know I might not have covered all that there is to cover, but you know, I hope I've covered at least the basics. But with respect to the agent that actually did my application, because I know somebody was asking, I tried to get the number, but the person doesn't work for the Canadian consulate anymore, so I'm no longer in contact with them, unfortunately. But I'm pretty sure if you go to a consulate in your country, it should be pretty straightforward and stress-free. I know things are a bit different with COVID. My experience happened in 2019, pre-COVID, so 2019 essentially, pre-COVID. So please make sure that you are up to date on information, watch other YouTube videos, make sure that you're gathering everything that you can. And yeah, this is the end of the video. This was a bit of a long and a chatty one. This was a bit of a serious one, but I just really wanted to, since you guys were asking so much, I think that yeah, it is only right that I give you guys what you want. So if there's anything else that you feel like I need to clarify on, please let me know, and I will try my best to answer in the comment section down below. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching today's video. I hope you have a great rest of your day, and I will catch you guys for sure on the next one. If you're new here, welcome to the family. I'm really saying welcome because I already know you're about to subscribe. I don't even have to talk too much, okay? But yeah, thank you so much for watching till the end, and I will definitely see you on the next one. Don't forget to check out Ana Luisa and use this code if you want to get 10% off of your next purchase. Alright guys, take care, stay safe, and I'm sending you